critical race theory is still being taught in New South Wales classrooms despite the Australian Senate passing a resolution against the practice last June. An official Department of Education webpage has also resurfaced promoting organisations that are advising teachers how to fight laws designed to stop the teaching of critical race theory. This doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. I'm joined now by Mr Roskam, the Executive Director of the Institute of Public Affairs. John, how is the New South Wales Department of Education getting away with listing these resources after the Senate passed a resolution against it?
Well, Rita, that's a very good question. And what we know is that bureaucrats are doing this under the noses of politicians. They are doing it without the knowledge of parents, and they are pursuing their own ideological agenda. When parents get to see some of the resources that teachers are being directed to in New South Wales, they will be shocked. So there's links to American websites whereby 4- and 5-year-old children have to prove they're not racist. The idea of critical race theory, the idea that we are all racist, that society is irredeemably racist, and that even to say we are all equal is racist in itself, is terribly dangerous, and the New South Wales Education Minister has to get control of this.
Well, these resources claim that they're fighting to combat racism. The people who push this doctrine say that's the aim, but the material is race-obsessed and it encourages students to not see each other as individuals, but as defined by their racial identity.
That's exactly right, Rita, and they're defined by their identity. We've seen in Victoria students who have been defined by their race being identified in class by teachers, and it overturns the notion that we're not judged by our skin colour or our race, religion, gender, sexuality, that in fact we are equal. Critical race theory does the very opposite. It is based on the idea that all white people are oppressors, that people who are not white are oppressed, and it divides Australians. And that is why this is now one of the single biggest issues in the United States. Parents have woken up to what's happening, and we've had something like 20 states in the US saying, we don't want this taught. And remember, here in Australia, it's not being taught as a potential theory like democracy or liberalism or communism. It's being taught as a fact. It is embedded in nearly every aspect of the curriculum. And as we've seen, regardless of what the Australian Senate does or what Alan Tudge might do, New South Wales teachers are still being directed to use it.
Well, that's the problem here, isn't it? We've got federal and state education ministers raising concerns, but it looks like activists in the education sector are going to do as they please.
Well, that's right, Rita. And the big issue in Australian education is parents don't get a look in. With these lockdowns, as parents have been managing their jobs, working from home and the education of their school children, a lot of parents have been seeing what their children are being taught. And we are inundated at the Institute of Public Affairs with calls from parents and also grandparents about what their children are being taught. And it's significant that when the new national curriculum came out, we heard from the governing authority all about how they'd consulted with experts, how they'd consulted with teachers. They hadn't consulted with parents, and if parents are given a choice, they will reject this, which is why a lot of this is kept secret and away from parents.
It is, and we're going to keep shining a light on it when we become aware of these cases. We will bring it to you. Mr Roskam, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Rita.